chokehold is clearly making it difficult for Pakistan to keep its neck above the waters. Gasping, the country is now resorting to blowing hot air, lot of sound and fury, signifying absolutely nothing.
ये जो गोरी, शहीन, गजनवी, ये चौकों में सजाने के लिए नहीं हमने रखे हुए, ये हमने हिंदुस्तान के लिए रखे हैं। बाबा, ये जो 130 एटॉमिक हमारे पास वेपन है, वो हमने सिर्फ मॉडल बनाने के लिए नहीं रखे हुए। तो इसलिए ये सोचना भी ना कि आप पाकिस्तान की हदूद को क्रॉस करोगे। अगर सोचोगे भी तो उसका खमियाजा आपको भुगतना पड़ेगा।
इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी जो 64 साल पुराना मुआहदा है, उसको इनहेंस कर दी लेजिस्लेशन में। वो ट्रीटी ना अमेंड हो सकती है, ना टर्मिनेट हो सकती है विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ बोथ कंट्रीज। मैं समझता हूं कि ये बेहतर होगा हिंदुस्तान के लिए, कोई नया पंगा ना ले।
Lashkar-e-Taiba is an ancient, it's a defunct thing, it doesn't exist anymore. That is a name which is taken from the past and from the archive.
Now, the fear of isolation is being compounded by the way the world is rallying behind India and against Pakistan's terror factory. From the United States to the United Kingdom to Canada and Germany, protests are being staged against the perpetrators, the butchers of Pahalgam. On one hand, even when Pakistanis are managing to put together a show of solidarity overseas, they can't get their act right. Now, look at what is happening there. Here are people protesting outside the Indian High Commission. They can't even hold their flag straight. Yes, look at those pictures again. And then they speak about waging a war against India. They speak about their nuclear weapons. This cluelessness is all pervasive. Or perhaps it is the fear of what awaits, that our cowardly neighbor who has never won in a war in this lifetime, it is desperately trying to build safeguards. Interestingly, the man who started all the saber rattling, General Asim Munir, is nowhere to be found. Where is he? Clearly aware that he has bitten off more than he can chew. Pakistan proxies are also now trying to retrace their steps. Lashkar proxy TRF is hiding behind an internal audit to say that the earlier claims of the TRF's involvement were absolutely fake. And then you heard the defense minister. He said that Lashkar is defunct just days after admitting that Pakistan has been doing the dirty terror work for 3 decades. Pakistan is quaking in its boots. The question is this bluster and false bravado its only ammunition for defense? Let's also now tell you about how Indians are protesting. Indians across the world have united and they want action against the perpetrators of terror. A large number of the Indian community members and the diaspora representatives gathered outside the High Commission, in London to counter a Pakistani protest against what was branded as Indian propaganda following the Pahalgam terror attack, chanting Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Vande Mataram while waving the Indian tricolour. The pro-India demonstrators visibly outnumbered the small group of British Pakistanis who assembled across the road over there. Take a look.
भारत माता की जय। हम लोग यहाँ इकट्ठे हुए बहुत शांति से खड़े। वो सामने वाले गाली दे रहे हमको, लेकिन हम शांति के और कहते हैं ना कि हम शांति, राम ने बोला है कि बस शांति से काम लो।
भारतीय मूल द्वारा यूके में पीसफुल प्रोटेस्ट का एक आयोजन किया था, जिनमें सामने थोड़े असामाजिक तत्वों के द्वारा हाई कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया पर, यूके में हाई कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया पर प्रोटेस्ट उन्होंने डिक्लेयर किया था कि उनके अगेंस्ट में हम लोग यहाँ पर आज इकट्ठा हुए।
हम सभी भारतीय उच्चायोग के सामने इकट्ठा हुए हैं। आज संडे इतवार को पाकिस्तान लोगों ने भारत के उच्चायोग के सामने प्रोटेस्ट किया था, तो हम लोग शांति की सॉलिडारिटी के विषय में हम लोग यहाँ पे सभी इकट्ठा हुए हैं।
मैं एक भारतीय नागरिक हूँ और जम्मू कश्मीर के एक हिंदू हूँ। आज मैं यहाँ पर आई हूँ क्योंकि जो पहलगाम में टेररिस्ट अटैक हुआ है, जिसको पाकिस्तान ने करवाया है, पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट आतंकवादी इन्वॉल्व थे, उसके खिलाफ यहाँ प्रोटेस्ट करने के लिए आई हूँ। ये चेक किया गया कि वो कौन से धर्म से हैं, उनको कुछ पढ़ने के लिए बोला गया, तो ये जो हो रहा है इसके खिलाफ हम यहाँ पर खड़े हुए हैं।
To support our Indian community that lives abroad, but our hearts are always with our motherland, and it's happening again and again, and that's what saddens us.
Rishabh and Yavar continues to stay with us. Rishabh, coming to you. We've been seeing the pictures coming in from the protest venues abroad, especially in London. The chants of Hanuman Chalisa, the echo of Vande Mataram, the loud unison in the voices of Indians when they sing the national anthem, that has completely rattled the propagandists there. What more are you tracking, Rishabh?
Well, Sagarika, what we're given to understand that India has diplomatic started cornering Pakistan. Prime Minister has spoken to over 15 heads of government and heads of state. External Affairs Minister have spoken to equivalent number of foreign ministers, his counterparts from Europe to US to, Asian countries, neighbors and everyone. Apart from that, as Prime Minister says that our diaspora is our brand ambassador. In a way, these brand ambassadors have been mobilized to showcase that, Pahalgam needs to be internationalized, and the word that Pakistan is behind this needs to be spread in the best possible manner. And this is what our brand ambassadors, our diaspora is doing. We have seen it in London, we have seen it in Germany, we have seen it in Italy, we have seen it in Australia, United States, even in UAE and other countries. We have seen that Indian diaspora has come out against the brutal Pahalgam terror attack and now calling out Pakistan wherever possible. When it comes to Indian diaspora, be it United States, be it United Kingdom, be it Germany, Indian diaspora is in good number. And whenever the need be, and we have seen this, that, anti-India elements have tried to disrupt Indian missions abroad. This time around, it's a vice versa.
Yes.
And Indian diaspora is ensuring that they're standing there.
And let's not forget, Rishabh, how recently a Pak Army official standing there made such a deranged gesture at Indians, who came out there to protest. The slit throat provocation by one of their, defense attaches over there has absolutely shamed the entire diplomatic community across the world. But what more can you expect from a rogue nation? Going across to Yavar. Yavar, you've also been seeing, we are talking about global protests, but in Pahalgam as well, we've been seeing people come out with the Tiranga, stand united against the perpetrators of the Pahalgam terror attack. Are more protests lined up today?
Since the past 5 days, we have been witnessing that entire Kashmir is standing in solidarity with those victims of the Pahalgam carnage. We have witnessed a day-long shutdown in Kashmir, across the Kashmir. We have witnessed how the frequent protests are taking place at the historic Lal Chowk. We have witnessed that after Friday prayers, scores of the people have protested against this move at various locations across Kashmir. We have witnessed that the Kashmiri people have, deep-hearted and deeply hurted after this incident. So a lot of the things lost. On the one side, we are witnessing that the propaganda are being, narrated across the border about the scenarios across the India. But somewhere, the Kashmir, the entire India, the people across the globe who are having a sympathy with these are standing in one voice, shoulder to shoulder. So this is a voice of unity that has gone from Kashmir. See, yesterday we have been reporting from the Dal Lake, Srinagar. We spoke to a lot of the tourists there, and they said that is the hospitality of Kashmiri people who stood beside them in this time. That's why they are still here. That's why they have survived here for a couple of days more. So this is a message that the Prime Minister also said, that Kashmiri people have its own unity, and nobody can harm that. Nobody can harm any sort of unity across the country. That's the message that has gone from the Lal Chowk to the Pahalgam and elsewhere in the Jammu and Kashmir.
And from UK to New York, a strong message is being sent to terror sponsors. Rishabh, if you've seen the pictures that have come in from the United States, there are protesters who are holding up the pictures of those who lost their lives, who were butchered by Pakistan-backed terrorists in Pahalgam. Innocent tourists. We heard chilling details and testimonies from their family members. But if you can just talk to us about the pictures that are coming in from New York.
Well, if we talk about the pictures that are coming in, and if we talk about New York, if we talk about London, if we talk about Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, everywhere in front of Pakistani high commissions and embassies, the Indian diaspora is ensuring that their voices are heard this time around. And, as we were just talking, that how in past we have seen that Indian missions, Indian high commissions, embassies have been defaced by anti-India elements. And then no one has forgotten that how the Pakistani defense attaché in London made that, obnoxious, gesture to the Indian protesters in front of Pakistani High Commission. Now the Indian diaspora has galvanized and has ensured and has taken it in their hands that they will put forward the truth of Pahalgam in front of the world. And remember, when we talk about New York Indian diaspora is not just a blue-collar diaspora. The Indian diaspora owns their hotel business. We own...
In New York, members of the Indian community held a protest outside the Pakistani consulate. And I want you to see the pictures, viewers. These are the pictures coming in from New York. Protesters there came up with the pictures and the photographs of the victims who lost their lives. They want the world to know the stories about the victims, the names, the stories, the faces of the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack. Pictures on your screens coming in from New York, and in these pictures, what do we see? This is a protest being held by the Indian community outside the Pakistan consulate against the Pahalgam terror attack. Here, there are Indians who are living abroad, especially NRIs in New York, who are holding up the posters with the faces, the identities, the names, and the stories of the victims of the Pahalgam terror attack. With that, it's time for us to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news and updates.